Okay, when hearing the word human trafficking, more than likely the movie series Taken comes to mind. These movies, along with many others, have brought some attention to some of the gruesome truths of human trafficking. But sadly, in reality, victims of trafficking do not have Liam Neeson to rescue them and give them a happy ending. I have always heard about human trafficking and never really taken interest into it until last year when I attended a clinic that was held by an organization named We Are Free. We Are Free has committed itself to bring awareness and advocating on the behalf of victims and survivors of human trafficking. Today I'm here to persuade you into accepting my solution that can begin to try and put an end to trafficking. I'm going to do this by persuading you by using persuasive devices in the forms of stats, scenarios, and statistics. In order to help you understand the seriousness of human trafficking. If you truly get involved in trying to be more aware and well informed about human trafficking, it can open many doors that will lead to an end to human trafficking. Human trafficking is defined as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, or harboring or a recipient of a person through legal or harmful ways. It has become a multi-billion dollar industry that thrives off of the selling of human beings for labor, organs, and sex. There is an approximate total of 27 million victims, with 5.5 million of these victims being children. Right here is a chart that shows that human trafficking makes about $32 billion a year. There are a total between 800,000 and 400 million victims of human trafficking, and 20% are used for labor, and 80% are used for the sex industry. The crime of human trafficking is the fastest growing, second largest illegal trade behind the drug industry. All countries, whether as the origin, transit, or destination location of victims of trafficking, are somehow affected by this crime against humanity, yet it remains one of the world's greatest hidden crimes. Traffickers prey on children and women. Many victims are lured in by the lies told that they're given a chance to live a better life than ones that they have been given. Now that I have given you some facts about human trafficking, I want to bring your attention to how traffickers obtain their victims. Victims are retrieved through abduction, by being orphaned, sold by their parents, or runaways, and by false pretenses. Poverty has been linked to the root of human trafficking. Although these are typical profiles of victims, no one is safe from a trafficker. You or I could easily become their next victim. I want you to imagine this. You're going about your day as normally as you would as any other day, but you're walking to your car, you're walking home, or even walking down your driveway. And all of a sudden you're abducted, and you're dragged into a world where every day you're forced to do unimaginable and undecisive things against your own will, and having no hope of seeing your family or even being free. But once you are free, will you be able to go back and live a normal life? There is no guarantee where a victim may end up. They may be trafficked abroad or within their own countries. There are many victims that are kept in the homes of neighbors, friends, and even family members that has gone unnoticed for years. Victims are controlled through the methods of manipulation, threats, lies, abuse, fear, and intimidation. The psychological effect that this has on victims prevents them from seeking out help, even if it was in front of their faces. Many people believe that trafficking only occurs in third world countries, but the truth is it occurs everywhere in the world. I have given you a glimpse of some victims, of how some victims are obtained. And now I want to persuade you by informing you how human trafficking, which is a form of slavery, occurs in the United States, although slavery was abolished about 150 years ago. The United States is mainly a transit and destination for traffickers. There's an estimated 14,500 to 17,000 people per year, mainly women and children that are trafficked into the United States. The true figure is higher because the number of undocumented immigrants that are lured into this country. Human trafficking is not a problem that can be solved overnight or by one solution. I'm proposing that in order to try and end human trafficking, people need to be more aware and be brought to the attention of that this can occur to anybody, and with people being well informed on human trafficking, raising public awareness both for victims and potential victims will help the general public identify traffickers and victims who can alert the authorities. This action alone potentially saves a possible victim or victim of human trafficking. I use my persuasive devices in the forms of statistics, facts, and scenarios to bring about that if individuals are aware and well informed about human trafficking, then these scenarios, stats, and facts could be greatly reduced.